Hi guys. Hey, it's me, Niger Mandela. Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Welcome to my channel. For my new subscribers, welcome to my old subscribers. Thank you for rocking and keeping it down with me. I remain your host, like I say, Niger Mandela. And I'm sorry guys for not posting last week. I was all over the place. I was busy with work, my paper presentation. I was busy with a lot of things, so I wasn't able to deliver a video. But I promise I'm not gonna miss my deadline again. So guys, just forgive me. And I promise to make this episode a little bit exciting so that it's going to make up for me not posting last week. So let's get right into it. Next week we're gonna having an episode with the girl dad, and it's going to be very interesting because I tell you, the girl dad we're going to be interviewing is a phenomenal man, an extraordinary person who was father of 8 girls who happens to be feminists. The 8 girls are feminists, as in they're thriving well in the world, and that man happens to be my dad. So if you're a girl dad or your mom that feel like you want to raise your child with be opinionated to be able to stand in the world on their own 2 feet and have a voice, you might want to listen to what this the girl dad has to say. And I promise you, you're going to pick one or two things that will help you on your journey of parenting, or as an individual that you struggle to put your feet down and have a sense of independence for yourself. I feel like next week video and this video is going to help. So guys, let's get right into the business for today. Because we're going to be talking about 5 things women were not allowed to do as far back as in the 17th or 16th century. I was having this conversation with a friend, and we tried to have a little simulation of how the world was when women were not allowed to do a lot of things. And I'm telling you, a lot of us will not survive that. And it made me more appreciative of women who, constantly push the doors, break barriers, and have their voice heard so that we who are following can probably be more confident, have room to speak, have the room to be, have the room to do whatever the hell we want to do. I mean, right? That's the idea. So, one of the first things women were not allowed to do previously was to vote and be voted for. If you watched our previous video, you're going to see about the story of a woman, Susanna Madura Salter, who was pranked into thinking that she was going to be a candidate for a mayoral election, but then in the whole prank, everything went wrong and she won. So she was one of the first women that broke this barrier of women being voted or to be voted for. So in the as far back as 16th, 17th century, women were not allowed to vote. They were not allowed to partake in anything as regarding choosing who their leaders will be, who their they were not allowed to participate in anything voting. They were not allowed to be candidates to be voted for, and they were not allowed to vote candidates in. Anything regarding election voting, women were prohibited from being a part of it. I mean, just think about it then, and then have a little simulation of how things are now. Imagine when someone is taking your right to vote. I think that's not going to be funny. But I know you're not going to allow that. So we have to be appreciative of people like Susanna Madura Salter who broke that barrier, and today we can vote and be voted for. Another thing women were not allowed to do was take up political positions. Obviously, if you're not allowed to be voted for or vote, then it automatically means that you wouldn't be able to take up political positions. So women are not allowed to be governors, local government chairpersons. Any political position was prohibited for women. So I mean, think about it far then and now. The gap is everything. It makes you appreciate the progress or how far we have come. Another thing that women were not allowed to do previously was to be financially independent. They were not allowed to have their own money. And this is especially funny because most of the times when I have conversations with people and they're asking me, what do you think can stop gender based violence? And I always say that one of the things that would stop or reduce it is for women to have their financial capabilities. So imagine that in the 16th century, 17th century, women were not allowed to own their own money. For a woman to even go into the bank to have her own account, her husband must be a signature. And that was even when progress even came. But before the whole progress, that you could even have an account and your husband will be a signature to it, women were not absolutely allowed to have their own money or any financial independence. So it was crazy. I can imagine the discord between then and now, or how bad the violence against women would have been. Because I mean, they were not allowed to have their money. It then means that the men had to say, the man can say, don't do this, and they were just going to sit down. You become more appreciative of the times that we are. As much as we still have a lot of these go on, it's so much beautiful to see that we've made progress and we've come a long way. And I'm so happy that we've come a long way because now I can earn money. I have my money, and you have your money as a girl. I mean, we ladies can just like cash out big time. One of the richest people in Africa is this Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, and she's a woman. I mean, just imagine that as far back as then, she wouldn't have been able to have all this money to herself. It should have been her husband's money. Ew. I don't want to think that. But like, yes. So you see how far we've come and how much some women have put into the movement for us to come here. One of the things also women were not allowed to do was have a right to education. And this one pisses me off the most. I mean, if you've seen Hidden Figures, you might understand what I'm trying to say or how bad it was then. You were not allowed to pursue an education. I think maybe you were just allowed basic education that will help you understand English and all that. But furthering your education, having a career, women were not allowed to do that. And like I said, if you watch Hidden Figure, you remember the part where Janelle Monet wanted to go to school to be an aeronautic engineer, and she was turned down after so much pushing and pushing. She ended up going to the class and being the only woman and the only black woman present in that class. I mean, it was a lot to deal with. She broke down a lot of barriers to get there, and we're grateful that women, because those were real stories. We're grateful that women like that did those things, and today I can conveniently be an aeronautic engineer if I wanted to be. I can be a NASA specialist if I wanted to be. I can even be a painter if I wanted to be. So I'm excited that we are here now, and I'm more appreciative of where I am because I understand what was before. I think that was the fifth one, but just to give you a bonus, one of the things women were not allowed to do previously was speak up in public spaces. It was seen as cringe-worthy for a woman to like be in a public space and speak up and talk about stuff. Like, regardless of what your opinion was, as a woman, you are not even allowed to talk. Hell, you were not allowed to talk when your husband was talking. You were not allowed to talk when a man was talking. So imagine me having my opinions aired publicly on the net on my YouTube channel, talking about how women do this, how women that. Then I think I would have been beaten to a pulp if I did that. Women were not allowed to do that. Women that did that were women that were brave enough to like say no to the whole situation, and they ended up breaking that barrier, and other women could pass through, other women could, air out their views and speak. For you to understand where you are today, it's very important to put into consideration where you were previously, or how things were for you previously or for women previously. And you see why I became very appreciative of the women's right movement. A lot of women has done a lot of work to get us here, and I mean, from this point I've given, just go back, have a little simulation about how your life is going to be if you were not allowed the right to do some of these things. Horrible, right? I don't even want to think about it because I never want to be in a society like that. But here, guys, I have given you these tips, and I hope that tell me, how do you feel about these things? How do you feel? Do you feel angry? Do you feel upset that this was done to women previously? Or do you think that those things were necessary for us to get to this point? As for me, I think that those things were very annoying, and but as a matter of fact, we are grateful that we have come to this point, and we only hope to move further next time. So next time when you see somebody saying what has women gone through, please remind them of these things. Remind them so they'll stop saying that and appreciate a woman or a girl more. So this brings to an end this episode. I'm so glad I did this with you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section, guys. I need your help choosing a name for my channel. I mean, I want to grow with you guys, and I need your tips. Just put in the comment section, what do you think we should call this channel? Remember that our channel is about telling inspiring stories about women who have broke down barriers and have given us a space, and also dropping careers or resources for men who want to understand how they can, help the whole women's right movement. And also, I'll be dropping a little bit of plus size fashion here and there, and a vlog or get ready meal videos. So, guys, tell me, what do you think we should name our channel? And I'll be waiting to see your opinions. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Well, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for staying with me, and thank you for watching my video. Please, guys, like, subscribe, and share. I mean, we're doing all this for you to have resources you can use for whatever you need to use them for. So it's very important for you guys to share, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week where we have an absolutely amazing episode. I love you. Bye.